All right. So, so you got to go to your the party settings, and you should find like some audio options or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, is it on? All right, perfect. All right. Okay, cool. And we're live! Welcome everybody to the single edition of Eduardo Asylum slash podcast Legend Killers. This time we got a man of mystery, a man who I thought sounded like Snoop Dogg but totally doesn't. We got soon to be on the GCW roster, as well as our special guest for this review, Eddie Nigma. Anything you want to say to the crowd, sir? Oh boy. So if you're wondering where we're coming around with this Snoop Dogg voice, okay, so let me share a little backstory. So Eddie Nigma and I have talked to each other through text only. So we have not spoken to each other like voice to voice one time up until now, right? So when I heard him go up to me saying with his deep voice going, yo, what's up?" or whatever it is he said, right? He greeted me and I jumped out of my seat and I was like, "Oh shit." Next thing you know, I was like, "What's up, man?" All I see is Mr. Edanky, which is his gamer tag, cheap plug. "What's up, man?" So I tell him that. Next thing you know, he's like, "What's up, Eddie?" And I'm like, well, shit, dude. Your voice was not what I expected it to be at all. And listen, for those that have him on Instagram, maybe not. If you don't already, Eddie Nigma, Eddie underscore Nigma. There you go. There's your cheap plug for today. Uh, you'll see what. You'll see his profile picture and then tell me you don't expect him to have a Snoop Dogg voice as well, because I see the dreads, I see the sunglasses, and I'm just thinking in my head, I'm reading aloud, and this is the most racist thing I could possibly think. This is, oh my god, this is GCW Snoop Dogg. um, yeah, so, I was always curious about if I would ever actually hear this dude's voice, like, maybe until we actually, like, meet person to person, like, before our events or something. Anyway. Britain. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Check out his music, too. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, Brandon's really cool, too. Well, all right then. So, I'm curious. You looking forward to Elimination Chamber tonight? Your voice still throws me off. Nah, all jokes. Yeah, nah, it's funny because like I was thinking, this would have been the time for Sami Zayn to shine. I think if you're gonna throw a rabbit out of the hat, you should have had him. Granted, he's a Raw guy, but I don't care. I love Sami Zayn. You know, um, Yeah. Yeah, dude, I just can't. I don't have too many good words to say about it, which you can check on my previous podcast edition. Another shameless self plug. Which, by the way, since I'm already plugging my shit in, do you like Doc Lesnar's music? Right. So you know that song "Rest in Paradise," right? So he made a song, for those that don't know, he made a song tributing those that have died in the past, which I have made a music video to, and I thought was pretty cool, and I was very proud of making. So for those that want to check that out, go to my main channel, Eduardo Betancourt, and be sure to check that out as well after you're done checking out this podcast. Anyway, um, uh, okay, so getting to all seriousness, let's go down this card and see where we could go. Pre-show, we're gonna get we're getting Mohawkins, or aka the Kurt Hawkins. Hmm. To be fair with you, I don't. I just honestly, I saw this coming from a mile away that they were gonna use Kurt, and then he's gonna be an afterthought, and that's why I don't really support too many of these rumored names coming back, because I feel like a lot of them are gonna have that same treatment. You know what I mean? Yeah. So as much as yeah, and for the most part, if you have to do that, you have to be like this very, very seasoned veteran. Like Jericho, he saved his career, man. Like 2000, 2013 to 15. Like I have a friend named Jordan who also is like on the podcast Legend Killers. He's my co-host. He does not like Christian for the simple fact at who he's become since his return in 2009. He claims Christian is a very basic character. His matches are very basic. His mic skills are very basic. Overall, he just kind of seems half-assed. And that's sort of how he feels about Christian is how I felt about Jericho for a majority of 2 years. I just could not stand the guy, just losing matches and just doing nothing. And, to me, it felt like a waste of space. But, with the whole stupid idiot, you just made the list. Like, the guy, he's a living proof that you can save a character. Oh my god. Yeah. Really? Hmm. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah. It's funny. The reason I wanted Sami Zayn to win the Rumble is simply put because you have three different variety types you could pick from. Let's say he makes the jump to SmackDown. You got you got a potential babyface versus babyface in which you can have John Cena pass the torch, so to speak, to Sami Zayn, and he could like become the face of the company instantly right there. He's already very well over. The kids love him. The internet loves him. And it would have made perfect sense. Now if you got yeah, and then you got Kevin Owens, which they have a very good feud together. They make chemistry I don't even know what example to make it. Like Jamal makes his insults. I don't know. Um, and then you got AJ versus Sami, which as well, we've seen this match happen on Raw. We saw gold out of them. Now imagine them going an extra, a 30-minute match, which I don't think they're going to go 35 or anything like that, but let's say they go 30 minutes, that would be the perfect amount of time for them to just, throw everything and their mother at each other, and everybody will love it. Um, oh my God. I mean, I granted, yeah. Oh, I think it would be even better. I mean, because just in terms of well, in terms of the storytelling, who knows? Because Sami Zayn is a great storyteller. So is AJ. Yeah. So I know Brett and Sean were tremendous storytellers because they had story to begin with. Um, right. But now when it comes to in terms of in the ring, I think they would blow this out of the water, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh my God, that was yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. Which actually, whoops, I almost forgot. Let's Oh wait, are you playing any games right now or? All right, all right. Well then, if that's the case, I'll just put on a match for the people to watch. Really, I'm not gonna play any games because, to be honest with you, I'm just kind of waiting for 2K18 to come out and have that stuff. Um, yeah. So I'm curious. Um, okay, where were we at? So yeah, so I'm thinking, you got that right there. You got Sami Zayn versus AJ, which would have been amazing. Cena versus AJ, which also would have been amazing. I think that match right there would have deserved I think an Iron Man match. I think just for the simple fact of storytelling. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, me personally, I can't do that. I just can't. I'll admit, creative is a hard thing to run. You know. Yeah. Um. So okay. Uh. That's true. Oh. Yeah, you got me there. Honestly, I remember I saw him do this clap shit. I think at Survivor Series where he was just clapping his hands in front of his waist and then doing it in the back of his head. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, yeah. I couldn't. I was just so mad. Here's the thing. In moments like this, people, you say the word cringe, which I hate that word so much, but this was one of those moments. I watched this. Yes, I hate that word so much. I'm using it. That's how much I hated it. Literally. Right. Right. Yeah. 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 It's funny. I was watching that battleground. That actually got me or breaking ground. My bad. That actually got me into helped get me into Tyler Breeze more now, which yeah, yeah, they do too. Now I pitched this idea that if you can't have them successfully be a tag team, I personally see more value in Tyler Breeze than Fandango. No offense. Um, yeah, so I'm thinking, let's say you have you want to save Tyler Breeze, right? Or Fandango, whichever, and you have them have a split where one of them where Tyler Breeze becomes the heel in this instance, and you have Tyler Breeze go over Fandango. And then as far as Fandango goes, well, that's how it goes. I don't know what you do with him. Yeah. Yeah. But with Tyler Breeze, you have him go from there. You have him go to the mid cards. I think Tyler Breeze does have that potential of being a future WWE champion. Um, yeah. So I would say right now, yeah, dude. I mean, with all the crap that he's put up with, here's the thing. Bray Wyatt has dealt with the same thing for 3 years, and it's taken him 3 years to finally get a title belt. It's and with the staggering momentum that the guy's had, like every time you think they're gonna build him up, he just keeps losing and losing. Like that's not what I would do. Exactly. Yeah. He he lost the title. He wasn't even in the match. That's how bad I felt for him. Um, but hey, at least they dropped it to American Alpha, which was really my surprise. I mean, I was so happy when I saw Randy Orton take the fall. I was like, wow, that is the most amazing thing. Like they built two. Yeah, yeah, they deserve it. Oh man, I love how people get on the fans for chanting that, but yet they're part of the problem. Um, it's funny. Speaking of that, I remember when the fans were chanting "You deserve it" at Dean Ambrose when he got the participation award. Oh man, that was that was too funny. Well, I mean, I'll admit it's a bit of a step down, but to be fair, the guy's momentum did drop a little bit, and I won't even say through any fault of his own. Um, I think it was ever since that Stone Cold podcast, people kind of just stopped caring about Dean Ambrose, and it's just like it's kind of disappointing to see that his world title reign was 3 months long, rather than I think it should have gone at least 5 months, just to kind of give him a little more of a chance. I mean, this is the same guy who when Roman was suspended had to work two nights 2 nights a day. Like that's tough stuff. Um, yeah, so it's like you know the guy does a lot for the WWE, whether people realize it or not. I mean, he's literally the reason they call him the cockroach is because like the guy literally has not sustained one injury. Like he has not had one injury since. Um, so like yeah, so it's like you got to give the guy his credit. Sure, his last month wasn't it wasn't great, which I completely disagree, but it is what it is. Now, as far as him going to Intercontinental title belt, like I said, it's a bit of a step down, but not really surprising to me. I think I think personally, you just got to build him back up and make him a top star again. Because I think they eventually do. They have changed their mind on the guy. I think they're gonna see dollar signs in him. Um, now Now, sometimes you don't need the world title to be a top star. Um, so I mean, if they reform the Shield or whatever, I guess you could do that. But but yeah, yeah. Personally, if you're gonna draft Dean to Raw, then and have him reform with the Shield, by all means, I'll be all right with it. Um, Yeah. 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 Uh. Yeah. Yeah. He is. You know, I'll admit, like, me personally, I am the one guy who's neutral about him. Because here's the thing, he gives me so much reason to hate him, but at the same time, he gives me so much reason to like him. So it's like, every time he does something bad, I'll call him out on it. Every time he does something good, I'll give him credit. You know, and being that I want to be in this business and I've done my wrestling for 2 years, I understand how hard it is for any wrestler to do all this stuff. Like, I mean, I'll even understand someone like Eva Marie, who, you know, the fans don't like, and neither do I, in terms of in the ring. But I understand why it's so hard for her to, um, to improve. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because here's the thing. Sorry. Well, I mean, me personally, here's the thing. Here's the thing about her, man. She's been in there 3 years, right, and hasn't improved one time. That's where I gotta like be harsh on her. But at the same time, I gotta admit she hasn't been like in the ring that much, other than I guess NXT. But it's like you have a personal coach in Brian Kendrick, who for the Brian Kendrick. Yeah, my bad. Um, that's what it comes across as. Yeah. Do an adult film. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't. Me personally, that's just a contradiction to the women's division. Like when I watch that, I just like I've never even seen one episode. I can't. Right. Heh. Yeah. Yeah. Now, one person who I think doesn't deserve this type of hate is Dana Brooke. Because here's the thing, she's green as grass. She's new. It's like her first year. She didn't even come up through the indies. None of that. You know, on top of that, after she sustained an injury and, she got caught up to the main roster prematurely, so it's like, you know, it's how I can't hate that. Like at first I did get mad about it, but that was mostly because the decision was to call her up before they called up Bailey. Not so much against Dana Brooke the person, and you know, I wish I had made myself more clear then, because now I just hate to come across as a guy who hates certain wrestlers, because realistically I don't hate any of the wrestlers. You know, yeah. I mean, eh, okay. I'll have to respectfully disagree. I'll have to respectfully disagree. I'm sorry. I like Carmella in the ring. Um, I think her and Alexa Bliss had a good rivalry. I think she's all right in terms of in the ring. She's all right. in the mic department. Um,
She's getting there.
yeah,
She's not terrible, but she's not the best. I just feel in ring wise, she should have been on NXT for
yeah,
a little longer to build her skills up more.
yeah. You're right there. I'll admit that. I
I
think
do like the heel turn, her feud with Nikki. Like I enjoyed that, but I just like competing with someone like Nikki Bella. Like your skills should be on point,
yeah.
and that's why I'm loving Nikki's feud with Natalia right now. I'm just like, all right, here we go. We got two queens of the women's division. This is a
I
really good feud.
I personally love and hate that feud because it has its high spots, has its low spots. You know, and I'm just kind of iffy about it. But personally, I
I think in ring wise, it should be pretty good.
yeah, yeah. So now I remember why we did this podcast. So, so Nikki Bella versus Natalia. Who do you got?
All right, my money's on Nikki.
Nikki. Yeah, yeah. I want Natalia to win, but I'm thinking Nikki. I think they're gonna give it to Nikki. Um,
Like, I think Natalia needs this win. I would love to see the championship on her, but the fact that Nikki's going to be retiring at WrestleMania, she has to go into this event with momentum, and she's going to
yeah,
get a lot of momentum with the victory over Natalia. That's why, yeah, I'm giving this one to Nikki.
that's true. That's true. So, speaking on Nikki Bella's retirement, so I made a video, right? Another shameless self plug, talking about talking about some alternatives for Nikki Bella's retirement match. So, um, the rumored match is for her and John Cena versus Miz and Maurice, right? What do you think about that?
I read that. Lame. I think they can do better.
Right.
I think. Come on. I think they can do better.
Okay. So I have like three alternative ideas, right?
All right.
Or okay, three alternative ideas with two opponents for her. So the first opponent would be for her to put over Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
You know, because if she's on her way out, it's tradition to, go out on your back. On top of that, um, go out putting over a new star, which you got in Alexa Bliss. And, um, well, now you probably know my prediction by now. Who I got for Naomi versus Nikki Bella, or versus Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that would work. Now,
Okay. What's your
now,
second option?
my second option is, let's say we have at Elimination Chamber, Becky Lynch gets attacked by Mickie James and Alexa Bliss after their match, right? You have Nikki Bella come out for the save, right? And here's the way I'll do it, because now I got two branching ideas for it. So the first idea, for the first branch, we got Nikki Bella attacking Becky Lynch, like after she went in for the save, attacked Becky Lynch, and you got a heel putting over the new face of the company, kind of like so-called face versus the real face, something like that. That kind of thing. And then at WrestleMania, you have them have the match, and you have Nikki Bella put over Becky Lynch. Kind of cement her as the face of the women's division. Or similar to what I had pitched for Sami Zayn versus Cena, where you have Nikki Bella pull Becky Lynch, and instead of attack her, she just points at the sign, and you got face versus face, and you got sort of a passing of the torch type deal.
You know what? I like that idea the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, all right then. I like that. Okay, so we got Natalia on that one. All right, now let's try to go in order. Luke Harper versus Randy Orton. Who do you got? Eddie. Eddie. Um.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Oh crap! I think my battery went dead. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's all good. So, Who do you got on Luke Harper versus Randy Orton?
Giving that one to Randy Orton. He's the Rumble winner. He has to keep building momentum. You know,
Yeah.
probably one of the matches I'm really not that interested in, but
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Orton.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's a pretty open and shut case right there. Okay, so Cruz and Kalisto versus Ziggler. What you got?
Ooh, okay. This has Dolph Ziggler needs this.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to Ziggler because it seems like they're trying to reinvent the guy again, which I didn't think they really needed to. I think giving him a solid IC title run would have been best rather than just having him keep dropping it to the Miz. So I'm gonna predict Ziggler.
Okay.
They need to do something with this guy.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate, or well, I'm gonna be contrarian and kind of give it to Cruz and Kalisto and kind of build up the frustration within Ziggler, kind of build more character. I think that's the direction they're gonna go, and then eventually he's gonna snap even more, and yeah, and probably even injure those two, and then he'll have a real like competition against somebody, like Dean Ambrose, who the guy can never beat, and there you go. You have Ziggler versus Ambrose at Mania, and you have Ziggler finally get that match against, finally get that win against Ambrose that could eat him alive, I guess. Yeah,
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
that could work too.
that'd be solid. I
Yeah,
still keep my vote with Ziggler, but your idea makes a lot of sense because I can see a new loose cannon for the new generation arising. That'd be really cool.
yeah. Okay, so we got Lynch versus James. Who do you got?
My girl Becky.
Becky.
Becky has to take this one. Yes. I'm going with Becky on this one. Mickey James, though, has always been a favorite of mine, and I know she just came back, but she doesn't really need this victory. Mickey James has made a big name for herself.
Hmm.
I think right now the focus should be building Becky up.
Uh.
Because me personally, I still think she's being underused.
Yeah.
I was very happy when she won the women's championship.
Oh, so
I
was
thought she
I.
lost it too early.
Yeah.
I love
Hmm.
Alexa Bliss, but I felt like Becky shouldn't have lost that belt that early.
I think the reason she lost that belt was first off, her 30 days off, that dropped a lot of momentum on her. Um, Partially because of that, Alexa Bliss, who I don't blame her, was, making herself, get as much heat as possible, and she was, she was building up her momentum, and I'm glad she did, because, we got top heel now, which will in my mind always be Alexa, no matter who you have as a secondary heel in the women's division of SmackDown, unless I guess you put her to Raw. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is I think the reason was simply because her had she not gotten that whatever it was she had, that infection, I guess I'll call it. I feel like
Do
she
you think she still would have been the champ?
Yeah, I think she would have still been the champ at least a little bit longer, man. You know,
Yeah.
um,
I'm hoping she can take it back at Mania, but if not, that special retirement match with Nikki would be a really cool thing for her, especially.
yeah, yeah. It's like I think it's kind of needed because with how much they put her through, they make her lose so consistently, especially on pay-per-view for some reason. Like it's just like it's so hard to like I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's so hard to
No, I
have
kind of understand.
yeah,
It's
it's hard to have like patience for her role within the company. It's hard to have faith with the company and how they're gonna, treat her.
because you always have that feeling like, well, she's probably just gonna lose anyways. Like they need to give her a very, very good hot streak, a solid run with the women's championship. So when you
Yeah,
see Becky Lynch, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be a threat.
yeah.
This is gonna be
And it's like
which way is this gonna go?
her month, just when I felt like she was finally getting that with her win with the women's belts, it felt like it was very short lived, man. And
Yeah.
I just I can't help but feel like um I can't help but feel almost cheated for Becky. Um,
No, I feel the
Yeah.
In
Um.
this series of matches, I was expecting Becky to take the championship, on
Yeah.
Tuesday too, for both matches, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Maybe this was the time to put it back on her.
Yeah.
Maybe they're expecting Alexa too much,
Yeah.
Hey,
What are you gonna do? So,
what you gonna do?
yeah. So, listen, I agree with you on everything you're saying, man. I think Becky deserves this win, or well, I don't even want to throw that word around. Deserves. Everybody deserves something. No, I think she should.
She needs it.
Yeah, I think she needs it. But I think since it's her first match, her first singles match back, I think Mickey James might get this win, and And you know what? You don't even have to have her lose cleanly. You could have a roll up finish,
Count out, disqualification.
do something like that. Just to keep Becky a little protected. Um,
I think the best result for this match would be a no contest, double count out or something like that.
that's true. That's true. I hadn't even considered
I would
that.
unhappy. Yeah, I would be unhappy with that decision if that was the outcome. I'd be like, okay, cool. You
Yeah,
can settle it a different time.
I don't think they've actually done that in a while before too. So yeah, it could work. So following that,
Becky needs a solid feud the way Charlotte and Sasha had on Raw.
yeah,
They
you,
needed something to feud with like that
you know,
to build her up. And
yeah.
Mickey James could be that feud. Mickey James could be that feud, but
I
right now she needs the Wailer to be no
I
contest.
personally think if it's not Mickey, then I really hope they go for that Nikki Bella idea. Just give that solid
If it ain't Mickey, it's gotta be Nikki.
That's perfect. That's perfect. All right,
Put that
so
on a shirt, bro. Put that on a shirt.
yeah, if it ain't Nikki, it's got to be Mickey, or well, the other way around. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll just write and vice versa underneath the shirt. Anyway, um, anyway, so I think personally, what I wanted to see this year was Becky versus Asuka at WrestleMania. Just to see that match, and I don't care who would win the women's belt after that. I mean, if you have Asuka win it on her first match at Mania, perfect. If you have Becky win it, great too. Um,
If you're going that route, man, I'd want Asuka to take it for the simple fact I would love to see her carry her undefeated streak from
that's
NXT to
true.
WWE.
That's true. That's true.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true. And who better than to beat than Becky? Um,
Exactly.
so all right. So next we got Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. Man, who do you got?
Man, my vote's with Alexa all the way. Here's the thing, though. I love Naomi. I think Naomi should have been women's champion a very long time
Likewise.
ago. And I hate to say it, but I don't think they're ever going to put that belt on Naomi. I don't think they are. I think that
Hmm.
they need to, but at this point, I think it's too late. And right now, like, you just can't kill Alexa's momentum like that.
Yeah.
I want Naomi to win it, I really do, but my vote goes with Alexa. I think Alexa's going to use it.
Right. I feel like we're at a unique point in time with wrestling where even though you don't you don't really even though I don't know, even though you don't really see them, having a shot at winning just for, the company or whatever. Um
You still root for them.
yeah, and they do have a credible shot at becoming champion, I think. Like Naomi, I think personally, I'm not a big fan of the light up gimmick, which I'll admit it's cool for the fans.
Yeah.
It's cool for
I
whoever wants.
factor in her bad gimmick.
Yeah, yeah, I like the old theme. I like I just kind of like that version, but you know what? I'll support it either way because I just love Naomi, the wrestler, too much to care. Much love to her.
I'm more biased because of Total Divas, too. I watch her on Total Divas. You get to see her, with her husband. She's very funny. And her husband, I think, Jay.
Yeah,
You're married to Jay?
yeah.
He's hilarious. And I'm just like, dude, Naomi, I really want you to take this. But they just is one of those cases where WWE has this talent, but they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, so I don't think Alexa Bliss is losing that belt tonight. I think she's going into Mania facing.
Very stupid.
Yeah, she's gonna face whoever she's gonna face at Mania. Whether it be Nikki, whether it be Becky, whether it be maybe even Mickey. Um, who knows, man?
Man, who knows?
Yeah. So,
Now you gotta be thinking, who could she face at Mania? Actually, I never really gave that thought.
well, who do you think she will face?
At this point, you know what, dude? I think she may go into it facing Becky.
Hmm, that's true.
I think she may go into it facing Becky. Becky would need to win at Mania. You know,
That's
I think that
true.
would be an amazing thing. I mean, they've had amazing matches. They had the first ever SmackDown Live Women's Steel Cage match. I almost said
Yeah.
Men's Women's Steel Cage match, but that's not true. That was Lita and Victoria.
Yeah.
In
Well,
case you guys in the wrestling world didn't know that.
well, the first ever on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was first ever on SmackDown. Yeah, because Lita's and Victoria's was on Raw, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, I love the both of them, but when it comes to like chemistry, there's no in between. They're either on or off, in my opinion. Because like I remember one match where they were like, where they were messing up left and right. Um, and I've given them credit. I've given them like patience because like I remember like hell, even their first match on SmackDown, they were clunky, but it's because they haven't worked together before. But
Right.
yeah, so like I'll see some of their matches. Like I liked their tables match. I thought was really good. Um, but then there will be some matches where they'll have a match and it'll be sloppy in some spots, really good in some spots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know how I'll feel about this match coming into WrestleMania. You know.
Well, like if they would have kept the belt on Becky, my choice for someone to face Becky at WrestleMania, a good one would be Natalia. They actually
Mm,
have very great chemistry.
they
If you
do. They
guys remember
do.
last year, they had some really good matches where they turned Natty heel.
Yeah.
So those two, actually, I would try to get those two in the ring again, build another good story, and have some more solid matches. They could both use it. If
Yeah.
Natty were to go over on Nikki and Becky goes over on Mickey, sounds like we're making an album here.
Becky over Mickey,
Natalia over Nikki,
Natty over
Natalia
Nikki.
over Mickey.
I, I don't even know how to.
Make it happen, bro.
uh,
Becky over Mickey.
oh man, but um, no, but yeah, man, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%, man. Like having Natty versus Becky, that would be really really cool to see. Um, I think from a technical standpoint, because I love technical wrestling, I would love to see that match. Um, mm.
And personally, I think with the draft, they should have split the four horsewomen up, two and two on each brand.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I
Because
said.
Becky has major chemistry with Bailey, Charlotte, and Sasha, so they could have
That's
put Becky over to SmackDown.
yeah. That's why. That's why they're the four horsewomen. First off, um, but yeah, I was saying that at first, but then I was thinking back to it like Becky was still like, barely gaining momentum because the thing is, like, she sticks out like a sore thumb with the four horsewomen. As much as I hate to say that, so it's like I felt like with Bailey's momentum, I feel like Becky would have gotten outshined, and personally, I just did not want that for Becky. So like,
Yeah, she definitely would have been the Perry Saturn of the four horsewomen. We're gonna bring up the radicals,
yeah,
Eddie, Benoit, Maliko, and Saturn.
yeah, and the sad thing is,
Becky would have been the Perry Saturn.
and Becky's my favorite of the four personally. Um, so yeah, I think, man, now I would say go for it. Have both of the four horsewomen up there, and we'll see the duo of Bailey and Becky. I think that would be pretty cool.
Because I don't want to see Becky leave SmackDown. I think she's a good fit for that brand.
She is.
send one of the other ones over. You know, Bailey, I think she'd do good on either show. But I'd
Yeah.
rather have seen Bailey on SmackDown personally than Raw.
Mm.
Because Charlotte and Sasha were already killing it over there before Bailey was drafted, so I think it
Yeah.
would have been a smarter move to put Bailey.
How'd you feel about moving how'd you feel about moving Charlotte over to SmackDown?
Nah, I think Charlotte is a good fit for Raw.
Really?
Like yeah, I feel like they should give someone a rookie chance at this point.
Yeah.
Because Charlotte, you got that, but she's good at what she does.
Yeah.
I love the way
Mm,
she does her job very well. So I think she's very good for the women's division over there. I think if they lost Charlotte, it wouldn't be as interesting anymore.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And then I was thinking of the idea of having both her and Bliss being traded over, but then I think like nah, because Bliss on SmackDown, she also, she kills it like nothing, and I feel like they would, I feel like her character would go a totally different direction on Raw than if it were on SmackDown for some reason. I just get that weird sense.
Bliss. Yeah, no, yeah, no, that would happen definitely. And
Uh
they could
huh.
make Bliss the Charlotte of SmackDown, and that's where they're kind of building towards. And that's why I don't think Bliss is going to drop the title tonight. Like, it'd be stupid to do that at this point.
It really would.
The point for her to drop the title would have been a couple of months ago. But at this point, you got to keep that train going.
Yeah, have her lose it at WrestleMania if you want to put it on someone else.
Yeah,
Um,
but at this point, yeah, have her ride it out until Mania.
I love Naomi, but I would not agree with her winning that belt just yet. Um,
Well, Naomi, if you're listening, we love you. And we hope you have it one day.
and we hope you don't block us on Twitter. uh, but yeah, man, that's how it goes. So, all right. We've stated our piece on both the women's matches. Let's get on to the tag team turmoil. Who do you got for the belts?
American Alpha's going to keep it, man. They need to keep this momentum going into WrestleMania. Even though I would love to see the Ascension hold the belts at one point, I'd love to see Breezango hold the belts at one point, and I want to see the Usos have another solid run too. But I think they should build up American Alpha and the Usos for WrestleMania, but keep the belts on American Alpha.
True. Okay. I could agree with that. I think with the win that the Ascension got on SmackDown, I think that adds a little bit of unpredictability to it. So I think it adds momentum their way. So I think they, granted,
Ascension, they were solid on NXT, and then they
they
got
were.
disrupted, and they just lost all that momentum.
Well, I mean, like,
That's another thing, like, hey, what are you doing with these guys, man?
yeah,
They're dropping on main event and stuff now. Like,
you know. I'll let the just for the sake of being devil's advocate, I'll let the smoke screen blind me and say the Ascension has a credible shot at winning the belt just because they got a win this last week on SmackDown. Um,
okay, is that your pick?
I think since it's like what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think if we pick 3 and 3, we'll be fair. I don't think that'll hurt anybody. So I got the Ascension, the Vaudevillains, and Breezango.
Ah, I forgot the Vaudevillains were in it. That's right. That's
Yeah,
what I enjoy, that they're just burying and not doing anything with.
I think if you turn them face, they could instantly be saved. I
You know what I think they should do too? They need to set up a British stable with Jack Gallagher. Yeah, like you said, turn them face. Set
that's
up a stable with Jack Gallagher. That'd be amazing.
that's
Four straight.
that seems to be the common that's the common thought there, having Jack Gallagher or Gallagher, since everybody's saying it like that. Jack Gallagher with the Gallagher whatever. Yeah, have him with the Vaudevillains. Uh,
Yeah. Well, let's see. My three then would be let's go. I'm going American Alpha, the Ascension, or the Usos.
okay, okay, so we're good. All right. Now we already said Nikki Bella versus Natalia. Um, okay, we got the main event. So with all the rumors going on and all the sparks flying, who do you think?
This one's tough.
Mm.
However, I think John Cena's gonna walk into WrestleMania with the championship, so I'm predicting John Cena.
Yeah. With I'm now me personally. I can't really buy into this all that much because I've seen Ambrose as champ. I don't think with all the momentum that he's been kind of having lately, I don't think he's gonna get it. Um,
Right.
Bray Wyatt, there's still that rumored program with Randy Orton, but still, I don't buy that happening. So,
Yeah.
like me, I think the WWE is gonna get cold feet because everybody heard of the rumor mill. There's a curse going on with rumors nowadays, which I hate. That if someone predicts it and it spreads around, WWE just switches the story around. So I think almost like an anti-joke. You know what I mean? Almost like an anti-joke
Right.
where you think,
You thought you had it, but you didn't.
yeah, and it turns out to be the plan all along. So I think WWE's gonna get cold feet and have John Cena win the belt, or well, win the belt. I think he's gonna I think he's gonna keep the belt, and we're gonna get Cena versus Orton. I just
Yeah.
I just don't buy that we're gonna get Randy versus
Randy versus Bray,
yeah.
which I prefer over Cena versus Orton. Because okay, don't get me wrong, these guys have amazing matches,
Mhm.
but we've seen so many of them, and I think the WrestleMania spot is so important for a lot of guys.
I don't like their
And
matches.
you know,
I
I don't like their matches.
yeah. Hey, you're gonna have to kill me.
We've seen them on pay per view like 20 times though.
Yeah.
And I think Bray Wyatt deserves a spot like this to go over at WrestleMania with the championship, successfully retaining, against Randy Orton. I think
Yeah.
something like that would be cool. Bray deserves it. But at this point, what they've been doing with Bray Wyatt in his career, it's hard to have that faith in him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I see them leaning on like, okay, we're just gonna rest on our laurels here. We'll go with Orton versus Cena.
Yeah.
When you had so many other options you could have went with, and you went that route. You
Yeah. Hell, at least put over a new star. I think Bray Wyatt at least deserves that. If it's not gonna be Zayn, if it's not gonna be whoever you want to put, Bray Wyatt. I don't mind him getting a shot with the belt. I say go for it.
know, actually, out of everybody in that chamber match, I think he deserves it the most. With AJ Styles coming in very close second, that may be me being a little biased, but Baron Corbin, yeah, I forgot he's in the match too. I don't think he's ready yet.
Mm,
I'm glad he's in the match. I just don't think he's quite there yet. I think he needs a solid run with the mid card title.
yeah.
You know, and at least for a good year, maybe towards the end of this year, start pushing him up into heavyweight contention.
Yeah.
Consider, I mean, the guy has potential, but right now I don't see him taking it.
Yeah. Me neither.
He's like the king of the mid card right now. I see them kind of keeping him at that level.
Mm.
And the only thing that had me thinking Cena may lose it was because we were mentioned earlier with Maurice and Miz versus Becky and Cena, but that sounds garbage. So
Huh.
yeah, I'm going with John to retain in the chamber.
Yeah. All right. So I guess this was our predicted card. All right. Let's have some after show plugs. Gold Coast Wrestling. Everybody knows we're gonna have a show, but we don't know the date yet. So just look out for that.
Also a mystery. Big
Yeah.
fan of mystery.
Just like Eddie Nigma, Mr.
I bet
Non
he's got
Snoop
some
Dogg.
clues. Yeah.
um, so, oh God, your laugh is infectious. Um, and this is coming from me. This is coming from me. Um, anyway, anyway, shit. So Gold Coast Wrestling. Stay tuned for whenever it comes out. Follow us on Facebook. Talk to us. Talk to Jamal on Instagram. Um, follow me on Twitter. eJose98. Follow me on Podbean. Um, Eddie Lynch.
That's right.
You know. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Oh, subscribe to my stop motion channel. Um, multi-generational wrestling. I actually forgot my own brand here. Um, Subscribe to my podcast channel. Wow, how am I forgetting all this? Podcast Legend Killers and Mr. Eddie Nigma. Do you got any plugs you want to add?
Follow me on Instagram, folks. Eddie underscore Nigma underscore. Follow me on Twitter. The same thing. Eddie underscore Nigma underscore, my friends.
Right, right, right. So, with all that being said, I am Eddie Lynch. This is Snoop Dogg. This is Eminem and Snoop Dogg. um,
Eddie Nigma.
yeah.
Signal Jizzle.
Snoop D-O double jizzle. I'll still I all right. uh
Thanks for having me on, Ed.
yeah, man. Thanks for being on, man. All right.
After I watch the chamber tonight, if you're on, dude, we'll talk about it, see if our predictions came true.
All right. All right. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, dude. Let me see. Let me just exit out of this match, which timingly we had you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Anyway, if quite the timing, it ended right as we did. So I'm about to end this live stream. We're gonna talk after the show.